So, good evening, everybody. I see a couple of people have joined us. Good evening, you are welcome, and we're super excited to have you all here. My name is Evaewero, and I'll be your host for this meeting. So, this is the Renaissance Generation Program Strategy Session, which is run by the Renaissance for Excellence Initiative. However, this month we're running a very special series titled the Businessman series targeted towards entrepreneurs, and we're doing this in partnership with Entraid. So Entraid is a budding tech firm, and we are currently designing a solution to manage the entrepreneur's business end to end. So Entraid is a short word for the entrepreneur's aid. So this meeting is going to be one of the first of many meetings for Entraid, and we're looking forward to creating more values for entrepreneurs. So without taking much of our time, I know we're all excited to hear what our speaker has for us today. So I would like to hand it over to our speaker. Before I do that, I will just read a short bio so that we can have an idea who our speaker is and some of the work that he has done. So our speaker today is Gift Best Jr. So he is a tech consultant, a business coach, brand strategist, new media consultant, and personal development expert. So he is a creative thinker with the aim of helping startup businesses, individuals, and brands position themselves for relevance in a changing world. So GiveBest Junior has helped more than 20 different brands position their products and services online and offline for the global market and countless individuals to position for global relevance. So he speaks, writes, and inspires his audience through speaking engagements and his online platform. So he's currently the COO for Fast Tech Innovation Hub and the lead creative at Own Your Brand. So everybody, it is my pleasure this evening to hand it over to GiveBest Junior. Over to you, sir. Thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I want to say it's a privilege to be here today on this platform. When I got the invitation to come here to speak, it's actually something I was excited to hear because the lineup for this discourse in this month is actually huge. The last class we saw a real depth of wisdom, and so it's a really great privilege for me to be here. So thank you for having me, French. Thank you so much, and everyone listening to me right now. Thank you so much for connecting. Thank you so much for joining us today. I believe that today we are going to have a conversation that will be relevant to you, relevant to your business, and relevant to the things that you do or whatever career path you've chosen to pursue in life. So just sit tight, get your pen, get your writing materials, put up distractions. Whatever you're doing, you can suspend it for the next 1 hour. Let's just have fun. Let's just share wisdom, and let's have an interesting conversation that will change your life forever. So thank you so much for having me, French. So when I'm set to go, you just let me know if I'm to start or something.
Yes, it's over to you, Tom.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Let me close this screen because I was having a double of my screen here. So just to make sure that there are no duplicates. So you're recording, right? Hello, friend?
Yes.
I said you're recording.
Yes, I'm recording.
Okay, guys, welcome to the Businessman series, the second week and the second edition of this conversation. Thank you so much, RGP strategy sections, for putting this up. I've learned so much in the last section where we talked so much about issues that are relating to our personal advancement, business advancement, and all. So today we're going to take it a little bit further by talking about the law of exchange. The law of exchange. One interesting thing about this is yesterday during the conversation that we had, I was almost about entering this because this is a vital area. Anybody who runs business in the third world countries must understand, not just understand it. It's something that you must understand and be able to wield at will. You must be able to wield it at will whenever the occasion calls for you to use the skills of the laws of exchange. Whenever the need arises, for you need to be able to put a demand on them. You need to be able to use them because it's one of those universal laws that affect how much and how far you will go in life, in business, in whatever you do, in your careers, in whatever you do. It's one of those laws, those universal laws that will help you advance further and faster in your life. So the place I really want to start this conversation is the fact that I said something yesterday in the class that the minority will always have a rule over the majority, right? There will always be this the 20% that will have the rule over the 80% of the entire world population. There will always be the 20% that controls the wealth of the 20% that controls 80% of the wealth of the world, while the other 80% of the human race is left to contest for the other 20% of the wealth. And it is not really necessarily a thing of the world is fair, nature is fair, things are not fair, or it's not a matter of fairness. It's a matter of being able to understand the principles of how the world works, understand the principles, the ways that the very things that drive the economy, the very things that drive the world, the very things that are vital to giving somebody an edge in every industry that they've chosen in life generally, right? So one thing that the rich people or the people who are the minority, the people who are the power centers of the world really understand is that there are certain principles. You don't have to have a certain religious affiliation, guys. You don't need to have a certain religious affiliations. You're a Christian, you're Muslim, you're an atheist. You don't need to have any of that to operate in these principles. There's a scripture that says, the God that causes the rain to fall upon the wicked, he causes the rain to fall upon the righteous, right? That is to say that God himself, he doesn't have any religious affiliation. That is one thing you must understand. First of all, if you are going to live a liberal life and you're going to live an effective life, first, you have to understand that God is not a Christian, right? So as a matter of fact, the title Christianity was given by people who were not even members of the religion, right? So it was a name that was given to them to identify them. So God is not a Christian. God does not operate within the bounds of your belief. He operates on a higher principles than that. God does not operate within human. The Bible talks about the thought of God being higher than the thought of man, as the heavens are higher than the earth. So you must understand that. So if God does not have any religious affiliations, he's not biased, God has no fairness measurement. So he is not going to be fair to you. He's not going to be unfair to me because you have a certain religious affiliation. No. What God does is, even from the beginning of the world, he has set the world to run by itself on certain principles. He has set the world to run on certain principles. So whether you have a certain religious affiliations or you don't have it, the moment you decide to operate by the principles that God has destined or structured the world to run by, you will definitely get the results that are associated with those principles. For instance, if you're a programmer, if you're a techie, you understand that when you write a software for a computer, the computer doesn't need to be used by a black, it doesn't need to be used by a white, it doesn't need to be used by an Indian to obey the set of instructions. It is just the protocol for the system, the computer, to run. So whoever uses the computer, whoever sets it up, whoever uses the software will get the same result because the programmer has programmed the software to obey certain instructions and to behave in a certain way. And that is the way God has designed the world to work. So if you know how to sow, you will know you will reap. If you know how to, for instance, gravity. The gravity says that anything that goes up will come down, right? So if you go up, you will come down because it's the law of gravity. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that. The only way you have a superior advantage over the principles that the world works is when you have a superior principle than that. And that is where the principle of aerodynamics comes in, that the plane is able to stay in the air without coming down because it operates by a higher principle. Else, the world operates by principles. The world operates by principles. So what the minority actually understands that allows them to have an edge over the majority is that they understand the principles that the world works by. And one of those principles is the law of exchange that we're going to be talking about today. So wherever you are, just get your seat ready, because we're going to be talking about something interesting. Now, I want to show you something. During the course of while I was preparing for this class, I was trying to check out certain philosophies regarding the universal laws that are common, or the laws that govern the universe. And one of the laws that I found was the law of vibration. Now I'm going to put it up. I didn't okay, just give me a moment. Let me try to put it up. The law of vibration. I hope this works. Law. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Let me get this up. I want to show you something. Okay, look at it. I don't want to open here because it's quite a controversial topic. So I don't want to attack your beliefs. So I'm going to change the screen I'm sharing so you can see. Where are you? Okay, here. So you can see, yeah, the law of vibration. This is one, according to philosophers, this is, I don't want you, get out. I don't want you. Okay, here it is. So let me highlight it so you see what the area I'm trying to talk about. Forget the ads. You didn't pay me for the ads. So here it is. The law of vibration. Yes, I want to use this to explain something basic to us. The second law, universal law, says that the law of vibration says that everything, every atom, object, and living things is in constant motion, vibrating at specific frequency. Now, when I was thinking about this, when I stumbled on this law, I was thinking about that means that everything that exists upon the earth is in constant vibration, right? So that means that money, that means that trade is just a business practicalization of this law, because when you get to the market, money does, someone said something that money does not really belong to anyone, right? Money belongs to the last person that is holding it, but it changes ownership, right? Because everything on the earth, when you have a product, your purpose is not to hoard the product, is not to hold the product. You are definitely going to have to exchange the product. You have to give someone the product that is equivalent for something that the person is willing to offer to you, right? So there has to be constant trade in our everyday life, which is to say that in the business world, in our relationships, in everything we do, there's always an exchange. Right? Everybody is engaging. When you walk out from your room, when you stand up in the morning, there's an exchange happening, because first thing you brush your teeth, right? You get water. Your teeth, you brush your teeth with toothpaste, and you bought the toothpaste by exchanging your money for the paste. So exchange happens in every area of our life, at every point of our existence, every point of our existence. So one thing, your role here is to understand the principles that this exchange operate by, so you can actually exchange the things that you have for the things that you want, because that's the reason for this class, how you can master the phenomenon of the law of exchange, and how you can position yourself that you use the things that you have to exchange for the things that you want. Because one thing that is certain is you will always have something to trade for something. You will always have something, and then you will always have a need. And what happens is that you need to have an equivalent. There's something called the trade by barter. When economy was not much developed as we have it today, we had a trade by barter where people had to exchange farm produce for something, maybe silver, maybe gold, or maybe shoes, right? closed when civilization came to third world Africa. A lot of people had to exchange farm produce. A lot of people had to exchange poultries. A lot of people had to exchange a lot of things to get the things that they want. So the way it works is that you, in the marketplace, you exchange the things that you have for the things that you want, right? And I want to talk about the driver of exchange in the marketplace. Now, I have a couple of things I want to talk about that really portrays the law of exchange and how it applies in the marketplace and how you can build an empire using the law of exchange to your advantage. I'm going to talk about that very quickly. But what I want to say is that the driver of, this is the businessman series, so we're having a conversation relating to business. So I'm going to streamline this topic to the business world. All right. So the driver of exchange in the marketplace, I tell people, is not really money, right? The driver of exchange in the marketplace is value. The driver of exchange in the marketplace is value. It's problems. When someone has a problem, yesterday we were having a conversation, and Mr. John asked the question that how can you build autonomy in business from a third world Africa country, right? So when you, okay, let me close this so it doesn't distract you. So one thing you must understand is that the driver of exchange in the marketplace is value. It's problems and values. Problems in the sense that people are willing every day of their life to exchange their money, to exchange their we have a lot of value exchange currencies that I'm here to mention. I'm going to mention that we have about 5 exchange currencies that I'm going to mention, but people are ready every day of their life to exchange the things that they have. It could be their money, it could be their time, it could be their skill, it could be their relationship, their association, whatever thing that they have, they are ready to exchange it for something that they are in dire need of. And what are people in need of? People are in need of value. People are in need of solutions to their problems. So you must understand that for you to be able to use what you have, because you must have something that you must be ready to exchange for, right? That is what the law is about. There must be something that you have that you're ready to exchange for something that you need. So you must understand that, okay, this is what people want to exchange for what I have. People have a problem of internet. People have a problem of electricity, right? People have a problem of give me wisdom. People are ignorant. That's a problem. Ignorance is a problem, right? People want to get wisdom. That's why. So what you understand, okay, I have wisdom. I can exchange the wisdom that I have for the ignorance that people have, and then people can pay me money for the wisdom that I offer them. So you must understand that for you to be able to fully practice the exchange or to operate in the exchange market, you need to have a currency. You need to have a currency, and that must be one of the drivers of exchange. One of the drivers. We have, I have about 5 drivers of 5 currencies of exchange in the marketplace. 5 currency of exchange in the marketplace. Number 1 is value, right? People want to exchange what they have for value, right? Whatever gives them value. Right, you watch a skit, a comedy skit, and the comedy skit makes you laugh. So it gives you value, it gives you entertainment value. So you're ready to exchange your data for that entertainment value, right? People want to exchange what they have for value. That's number 1 thing. So the reason you have to write this down is because when you understand the currencies, you know which one you have or which one you are in need of that you can trade for the other, right? So people want to exchange what they have for value, right? People want to exchange what they have for money. People want to exchange what they have for money. People want to exchange what they have for a skill. When you go to Udemy, when you go to there's this when you go to Coursera, right? When you go to those platforms that have a cost, you want to learn a skill and you have money, so you pay them the money that you have. They train you on the skill that you really want to acquire. So you are exchanging what you have for what they have. What you have for what they have. People want to exchange what they have for relationship. One of the currencies of the market of exchange in the marketplace is relationship. People want to be able to bond with you. That's where a mentorship and mentee relationship comes in. or a mentorship and mentee exchange comes in, because people want to exchange. A mentee wants to exchange maybe services, maybe his money for paid mentorship, or maybe his skill, right, for a mentorship program. So people want to exchange those things for something in the marketplace. Now, what is your role in all this? Your role is to understand what people have that you are in need of, and what you have that you can give them to collect what they have, right? Facebook offers a service. I tell people that whether you want to accept it or not, the world operates by exchange. Every sphere of life, in family, it operates by exchange. You trade love for relationship. Yeah, right? We are in the same family, so you have a responsibility to me. Because you're my brother, you must care for me, right? I don't need to beg you to care for me. Because you're my brother, you must care for me. So as a reason of my association with you, you have to trade your care, right? When I'm in a romantic relationship with someone, I trade. Most times I have to buy the person gift. I have to buy, whether you want to accept it or not. Life functions by the principles of exchange. We are daily trading something for something. So it is your role as someone who wants to actually scale their life, someone who wants to actually scale their business, someone who wants to actually scale their fulfillment in life, to understand that people want to daily trade something for something, right? So your goal is to build an empire on the need of people. Your goal is to build an empire out of the need of people, right? So I'm going to talk quickly about how do you build an empire leveraging on the laws of exchange. How do you build an empire leveraging on the laws of exchange? I'm going to talk about that quickly with the little time we have. I think we have about 30 minutes left to talk about this. Number one, strategy to building an empire leveraging on the law of exchange is, number one, is you build around a common problem. You build around a common problem. One thing I want you to go and study after this class, just study it. Put your religious beliefs aside, and then study the laws of the universe. The laws of the universe, and you will be able to understand some of the things I'm talking about here. So number one strategy to building an empire leveraging on the law of exchange is building around a common problem. People, there's always money, right? Money doesn't really have an owner, right? Money is in the hands of someone who has something to trade for it, right? Money is in the hand of someone who has something to trade for. It could be a position. Merely functioning in a particular position gives you certain access to money, right? It could be a business, it could be a product, it could be a service you're offering. So whatever problem you're solving it has a way of attracting a certain amount of money that goes for this amount of value that problem has a demand for. So every problem carries money alongside it. Right? So you must build, for you to build an empire leveraging on the law of exchange, you must build your empire on a common problem, a problem people are ready to pay for the solution. I tell people, one of the ways people build businesses today is they get an idea, right? And they build a product. Then they go and look for a market that wants to pay for the product. That is a wrong way of starting a business. How you start a business is you first of all look for a market that wants to pay for a problem. They want to pay for the solution to a problem. Right? You first of all have to, that is why anybody can run a successful business, because anybody can carry out a survey, anybody can carry out a research to find a common problem that people are ready to pay for. So you have to, the right way of building a business is for finding a problem that people are ready to pay for. It is not every problem people are ready to pay for. I can tell you that. It is not every problem that people are ready to pay for. For instance, there are certain problems you could find a solution to. Then not everybody wants to pay for that problem, right? One popular problem is the problem of climate change, right? Climate change, right? That is a very big problem, right? But the common man in the society does not actually want to pay for the solution to that problem. Now, the people who actually want to pay for the solution to that problem are billionaires, philanthropists, people who are wealthy, right? People who have already established an empire for themselves, so they are ready to waste money. They are ready to buy luxurious products, right? Those are the kind of people who want to pay for the solution, right? But for you to build an empire from ground up, especially, I'm going to be streamlining this to people in third world Africa, because I know most of the people who are listening to me right now, you're listening from third world Africa, underdeveloped Africa, the third world. So one of the way you can leverage on the principle of, or the law of exchange, is to build around a common problem, a problem that the average man in the society is ready to pay for. Because the population of Nigeria is actually segmented into two. There's no middle class, is just a term that was used to make some people comfortable. There's nothing like a middle class. You are either poor or you're rich, right? It's classified into two. You are either here or you are here. There's no in between. You're either here or you are here. So for you to be able to leverage on the law of exchange, to build yourself, to build your fulfillment, to build your business, to build your empire, you must build your empire around a common problem that the common man, the average person in the society, can afford to pay for. You must build around a common problem. It is one reason I told them in the class yesterday why Dangote will be relevant for a very long time. It is not because he really has a good marketing strategy, or he really has a good publicity strategy, or because he really has a lot of strategic people who work for him. No, the reason he will be relevant for a very long time is that he has been able to solve a problem for the common man. He has been able to understand that the common man is ready. You're ready to trade your money for salt. You're ready to trade your money for sugar. You're ready to trade your money for spaghetti. You're ready to trade your money for Indomie, for noodles. You're ready to trade your money for the services that he provides. So you must understand that for you to build your empire, a lasting empire from the third world, leveraging on the law of exchange, you must understand that the average man, the common man, is ready to exchange what they have for a problem that they are in need of a solution. So you must build your empire around a common problem, because the law of exchange will not go away, right? It's always going to be here. People want to trade what they have for what they want or what they need. So you must be, I talk to people, and most of the people I talk to, I have entrepreneurs on my list that I consult for, who they build luxurious products, right? Just give me a moment, please. I hope that is allowed. Now, they build luxurious products. I have a guy who sells perfume of 50,000, right, on my list. He sells expensive perfumes, right? I have someone who sells shoes, very expensive shoes, right? Those are good stuff, right? But if you are building for relevance in third world Africa, you must start from a place where there's a common problem, that you must provide a solution to a common problem, right? That is how you build. Now, building a luxurious product is good, but if your audience is third world, because they are classified into the rich and the poor is 80%, the rich is 20%. Right, and the rich, that is 20%, they are ready to pay for products that the average man is not ready to pay for. But if you want to build an empire speedily or with speed in third world Africa, you must build around the common problem, number one. Number two, you must build around the common man. You must build around the common man. If your market is Nigeria, if you have a product that you want to sell to people in the US, you have a product you want to sell to people in Canada, people in the UAE, that's good. Building a luxurious product is okay, right? Because the market can afford the product, right? But if you're building for third world Africa, number one, you must build, if you're building to leverage on the law of exchange, you must build for the common man, because you must have a quantifiable number of people who are ready to exchange something that they have that you are in need of. You need their money. So you are building something that attracts their money. Business is not a matter of sentiment, right? That's why I tell people that building a business that offers a free service is dangerous, right? It's dangerous because you are not really leveraging, except of course you're building, offering a free service for something else other than money. Maybe you're offering the free service for a relationship, right? You're offering the free service for something beyond. For instance, some people put up their course for free and then just to get people's email, right? So that is an exchange also. They are not getting money, but they are getting a resource from the people, which is their email that they will use later on to get money from the people, right? So if you're building to leverage on the law of exchange, the fact that people want to trade something that they have for something that they are in need of, you must build for the common man, number one. Number two is you must build for a common problem. Number three is you must have a proper niche and audience mapping. I have an entire course that is dedicated to this, but I'm going to talk about this briefly here. I'm going to make sure that you get the point. So you must have a proper, for you to leverage properly on the law of exchange, you must have a proper understanding of niche and audience. You must have a proper niche and audience mapping. Now, what problem people in Africa, entrepreneurs in Africa have is they have the problem, please, okay, let me just check the group to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Okay, there's no comment here. Okay, guys, if you're flowing with me, just drop a comment in this section so I know you're with me, right? If you're flowing, so I know I have not lost you. Just drop a comment in the comments, because I've been speaking for so long, and even if I can't hear French's voice, I just need to know you're flowing with me. Okay.
We will flow.
Okay, you can hear me, right? There's no problem.
Yeah, perfectly. I hear you perfectly.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Okay, what was I talking about now? I was talking about building, having a proper niche and audience mapping. Now, one of the problem entrepreneurs in third world Africa has is when they go on the internet and they see someone selling a product and the person has a certain kind of audience, right? The person has a certain kind of following. So now they build a product and they want to have that particular following. Now you must understand that every product is meant for certain audience. Now even the common man is categorized into there are people that have a need for real estate, they have a need for accommodation, they have a need for a home. There are people, their need is not a home. Some people, they just want to get out of poverty, right? They have a financial need. Some people, they have a need for wisdom, right? They have ignorance problem. They have a need for wisdom. Now, some people, their need is clothing, right? They want to be able to get the fashion, the latest trend in fashion. Still the common man, right? So you can't use the audience of the real estate guy to build a fashion company. You must understand that the people who want accommodation may not always be interested in fashion. The people who want financial solutions, who want to break out of poverty, who want financial solutions, they will not always be in need of real estate. So you can't build around the same audience that I'm building. You can't build around the same people, the same platforms that I'm building. You can't build around the same niche. Now it's two, so don't get it confused. There's niche mapping, building around a particular niche. It is not every niche that you can build a product, a product that you are building around. So if you're someone, you went to school, you studied architecture, right? So when you come out of school and you want to build a brand around your course, the course that you studied in school, you can't start targeting the people who are interested in entrepreneurship. You can't start targeting the people who are interested in online courses. You can't target the people who are interested in podcasts, except you're using the podcast to talk about real estate, right? So you must understand that every product has a particular set of people that will patronize that product. Every service will not be patronized by everybody on the internet. We have over 4 billion users of the internet, active users of the internet, right? We have over 4 billion people. So you must understand that the 4 billion people will not always go for the same product, right? There are those who will go for politics, there are those who will go for education, there are those who will go for technology, there are those who will go for family. That's why we have family counselors, we have sex therapists, we have emotion doctors on the internet, because there are people who their specific need is in that area. So you must understand what niche and what area, what kind of audience are you building your product around, because you need the people who actually need the solution to the problem in order to be able to exchange. In order for you to exchange, you need people who really have a need for your product. You will need people. That's why if you want to run a fashion brand, you want to run a blog. If you want to run a blog, there are certain places that you shouldn't run your ads to. There are certain places you shouldn't be found, because it's not everywhere your audience will be. So you must understand, you must have a proper understanding of your audience, have a proper understanding of the niche that you're building around, in order for you to be able to maximize the loss of exchange. Because when you build around the wrong niche, when you build around the wrong people, the wrong audience, you won't be able to get a return for your investment. You won't be able to actually operate the law of exchange, meaning you won't be able to place your product and receive a return for your product, because that is what the law of exchange is all about. You want to have people who have something they want to trade for what you have. So the goal is to constantly have people that want to trade what, for instance, this platform, you are here listening because you want to get value from here. Not everybody will be here. There are people who are not interested. I've made peace with that. There are people who will never be interested in what I'm selling, in what I'm talking about. There are people who will never be interested in branding. There are people who will never be interested in tech, which is what I'm all about. There are people who will never be interested in personal development. Even though they need it, they will not be interested in it. Now, when I build my course and I sell to these people, I won't have a return for my time. I won't have a return for my resources that I use to power my programs, to power my sessions. So I must be able to build around the people that are ready, willing, and want to offer me something for the thing that I'm offering them, for the service that I'm offering them, for the product that I'm offering them, and for the things that I want to give out. So you must have a proper niche and audience mapping. That is number 3. Number 4 is you must build with the lean startup model. The lean startup model. Now, when we talk about the lean startup model, that is a principle that was developed by Aris, I think that's his name. Okay, hold on. Let me check so to make sure I'm right. Lean startup model. Yeah. Okay, just give me a moment. I like yes, I want to get the name of the guy that came up.
I believe it's Eric Rees. I think John
Yes,
responded.
yes, Eric Reels. If I just hold on. Okay, I think I found it. Here. Yeah, this is a book where he was able to develop the principle that every entrepreneur who wants to build a lasting product must. I will recommend this book for you, the Lean Startup model. This model is used by major startups all over the world. But I'm going to tell you why. It is study shows that 80%, I don't know how accurate that study is, but 80% of startup businesses fail within the first year of startup. One of the reasons why these businesses fail is not because they don't have enough money. A lot of people pump in so much money into the business, and at the end of the day, the business fails within the first year. Because for the business to be viable, for a business to actually make profit, it needs to last for about 5 years. You need to cross the 5-year mark to make actual profit from your business. So as a business owner, that is just added wisdom for you. You need to be able to run your business consistently for 5 years to actually claim dominance in your niche. Because it's expected of you to be able to make profit within that 5 years. Facebook run for about 5 years without making a single profit from Facebook. They run for about 5 years with investors' money. Google, the same thing. Tesla, the same thing. different major companies all over the world, the same thing. Now, what is this principle that you must work with that allows you to be able to leverage on this law of exchange, the lean startup model? This is a model. One mistake people make is when they have a business idea that they want to explore, they just want to be able to push it out to everybody. They want to push it out and say, oh, guys, come on, this is what I'm doing. Will you buy my product? Everybody. Most people, the moment they get an idea, the first thing they want to do is open a Facebook page, open an Instagram page. They start running an ad, right? That is not the way you build a business to last. That is not the way you build to leverage internally on the laws of exchange. One of the ways you build to leverage on that is by building through the lean startup model. What does this mean? This means that you have to have a prototype product. A prototype product, I'm going to talk about the reason this is important to you. A prototype product is a product that you develop for testing. If it's a service, you have to develop a prototype service for testing, because you need to be able to test because the whole thing is in your head. You assume that people will buy the solution you're creating, right? That is what you assume. Even after you made the research, after you made the survey, you assume that people will buy the product that you have created. So the moment you push out without testing the product, without testing people's response to the product that you've created, you expose yourself for failure. So you must first of all build a prototype product that you can give to a certain number of people or sell to a certain number of people, that will, so you can monitor the response of those people to the product. And you must do this among certain classes of people. You must do it among young people, old people, average people, people who are not teenagers, people. So you must have a range of people that you can test the product with, test the service with, test the value that you're offering with. The reason is because when you push out a product that people, a very few number of people are ready to pay for the service, and you have invested a lot of money, you've invested a lot of energy, you've invested a lot of resources to build that product, you will run at a loss, right? Because you will not get the equivalent exchange for the things that you build. So you need to be able to test it. Okay, you select randomly, you select people to test the product, and you say, okay, if it's a course you created, you test between them, you send it to them, say, check out this course. What is your take on this? Do you find this relevant? You send it to someone else. Check out this course. Do you find this relevant? It is one of the reasons I do a survey. Before I started my podcast, I did about 3 surveys. Even though I'm yet to release the first episode, I've done 3 surveys to check. The first thing I wanted to check was I wanted to check the number of hours or the duration people want to listen to the podcast, right? Because I already have the audience, right? I already have the people who will listen to the podcast, but I need to be sure that they will listen to the podcast as much as I want them to listen to it, because I have a goal. Even as much as the goal is not profit, I have a goal of being able to influence a certain number of people within a certain particular time frame. So you must ask yourself that, okay, I did a survey. I did a survey to find out how long they will listen to the podcast, when they will prefer to listen to the podcast, where they will prefer to listen to the podcast. I have Anchor, I have YouTube, I have Spotify, I have SoundCloud, just a lot of options. And I was able to get a feedback. So as a business person, as an entrepreneur, for you to actually be able to leverage in the future the law of exchange, you need to have a proper business model that you can operate with. And one of the most effective business models that you can operate with is the lean startup model. You need to create a prototype. You need to have a testing team. People, why do you think software companies, they create a better product, better product? The reason they create it is because they want a certain number of people to test it. If people will love this product, if this product will not crash while people are using it, if this product is the UX, UI is very good for people to use, if people are attracted to the product, how addictive the product is, because softwares are created to be intentionally addictive, right? So they have to test for all of these things. So you as an entrepreneur, the moment you have an idea and you jump into the business, you create a product and you start selling, you will not be able to build an empire that will last and leverage so long on the laws of exchange, because you need to build what people want to pay for. I will never be able to overemphasize this, but you need to build something that people wants to pay for. People wants to, just give me a moment. Okay. All right. So you need to be able to build that, right? So you need to understand that building with a lean startup model is one of the ways that you can actually leverage continuously on the law of exchange. People want to trade what they have for what they need. So that is number 4. I have about 10 of them. So number 5 is you must build consistently. You must build consistently. I think I touched that a little bit while explaining the previous point. Number 4 is you must build consistently. You must build consistently. Like I said, it takes about 5 years to have a profitable company, right? But one of the reasons people close up is because they get discouraged at the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, when they don't get a product, when they don't get profit. But you need to understand that it takes time to build empires. Empires take time. If you want to build a local community, you could build that in 1 day, you could build that in 2 days, right? But if you want to build an empire, it takes time. It takes consistency, constantly showing up. It takes constantly offering of value. It takes constantly reinventing yourself, constantly reinventing your product, constantly reinventing the services that you offer. It takes time to build an empire. So you must understand that when you understand that you will be able to build something that lasts for long, that will in turn leverage on the laws of exchange. I'm going to run through this because we don't have a part 2 for this class. So I'm just going to run through. So building empires takes time. There's this scripture that says, is there a man that wants to build a house and does not first sit down to count the cost? Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Just hold on. This is very important to you. I need you to see this. Just hold on. I think it's in Luke. Yes. Luke 25. Yeah. I got it. Let me show you. Luke 14. Yeah. This is it. I'm going to highlight it for you so you can see it. Now, I have a couple of other points that that will hit on this point also, but just look at it. Okay, I'm going to zoom this a bit so you can see it. So I can remove the ads and all of that. So this is it. So he says, this is Jesus speaking a parable to the people who are listening to him. He said, for which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count the cost, whether he has enough to finish it, right? Lest after he had laid the foundation and is not able to finish, all who see it begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build and was not able to finish, right? Or what king going to make war against another king does not sit down first and consider whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him who comes against him with 20,000, or else why others are still good. So this is basically talking about if you're building a tower, if you're building an empire, it takes time because it requires proper planning, right? I'm going to talk about actions, taking actionable steps at the right time, but it takes time to build an empire because it takes planning, it takes strategic thinking, it takes a lot of testing because you have to make a lot of testings and feedbacks and reviews and product release and retracement and all of that in order to build a strong empire. So building an empire takes time. It takes time. You must understand that so that you don't get discouraged at the first year of building your business when there's no return, when there's no sudden push of the law of exchange coming your way. You're not getting a lot of people buying your product. This is an encouragement for you. It takes time to build a lasting business. So in the first year, you're not getting as much customers as you want. Be patient. Keep building what you're building. Constantly keep building. I remember when I opened my Telegram channel, right? The first day I opened it, I had about, because one thing I said was I was not going to pull people in by force. I was going to share the link, and anyone who finds this relevant will get on the platform, right? So, but I don't want to drag people into the platform, because there's a way you can actually invite 1,000 people into the Telegram group without their consent, without all of that. So I didn't want to do that, because I want to be able to communicate with the people who see relevance in what we're doing. So when we opened the group, for the first week that we had the training, we had about 10 people, right? 10 people, right? I think that were we up to 10? We had very few number of people, right? But as time went on, we kept on having people who were joining the platform, because we kept on building, we kept on giving value. So we have a target of hitting 1,000 membership in the group before December, right? But it takes time to build a community of people who will buy your product consistently. It takes time, right? So you must understand that the business that you build in is going to take time to build it to the extent that you have the 1 billion valuation, you have the $100 million valuation, or whatever your target is. It's going to take time. So you have to be patient, and you have to consistently build what you're building. Number 6 is you must have a right positioning to be able to leverage on the laws of exchange. You need to have right positioning. You need to have right position. It's not every platform that you can build your following. It's not every platform that you should run your advertisement, right? It's not every platform that you should show your face. It's not every platform you should sell your product. You must understand the right place where you can sell your product. You must understand the right venue. Sorry, give me a moment. You know, when I talk for so long and with so much passion, I tend to get dehydrated. So I usually take water in between to ease up the, I hope you're with me. Hope you're with me. Hope you're flowing. Hope we're together.
We're together.
How long do I have left?
I think you have about 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. So because I don't like, I was listening to a comedian yesterday. So one of the reasons he doesn't like taking so long of the time given to him is so that they can call him back again. You know, when you waste the people's time, you may not be invited again. All right. So I really don't like taking as much more time that I'm given. So you must have a right positioning. Now I was talking about it's not every platform you must build your following. You know, recently we had a lot of people joining Telegram, a lot of people because of the issue with WhatsApp. And I tell people that social media is not going away. We have over 2 billion, 3 billion people who use social media daily. So it's not going away. Facebook is not going away. WhatsApp is not going away. It's not closing up. So don't believe all that fake rumors you hear on the internet. It's not going away. But because of people's response, the masses will always react, right? They will always react. Because I think yesterday I talked about reaction and responding. So they will always react to everything that happens, to every trend. So recently we've had a lot of people who are joining Telegram. You know, a lot of people are joining Telegram. They want to get in on the action, what is going on, because WhatsApp crashed for 4 hours. They want to go on Telegram because Telegram is now more reliable, in quote. So they want to get on the platform. And then I have course creators, a lot of people who business owners, they say, people are moving to Telegram. Oh, let's move to Telegram. It is not everywhere you can sell your product. You must understand, this is one reason you must understand what platform actually works for you, where you can actually really sell the things that you want to sell. It is not all platforms, like we said before. So you must have the right positioning to be able to have the expected return for your investment. You must have the right positioning. Why do you think castles are built on the hill? Most of the castles in ancient times that we see, they are always on the hill, right? Is for exposure. So don't build. Number one point under that is you must have the right position. Number two is you must have a positioning at all. One of the reasons castles are built on the hill is for exposure, so that when you enter the city, you see the castle, you see where the king is. So if you are coming to the castle, it's not very difficult to locate because it's on the hill. So everybody is visible to everybody. So when you create a product that people are not aware of, you will not have a return for your investment. So I tell people it is useless making a very delicious food with nobody eating the food. So when you create a product, when you create a service, when you create value, make sure the people who this value is meant for, they get to see the value. They will not automatically see it. You are not Mark Zuckerberg, right? They will not automatically see it. You have to push it to them. You have to position your product to where they are. You have to position your product to the people, to the platforms where they are, where they're having your conversations. Put it there. That's one reason I tell people that you can't be operating business from third world Africa in the 21st century and you say you don't want to run advertisement. Even churches run advertisement, right? Popular churches, they run advertisement, ads on Facebook, ads on Instagram, ads on Twitter, ads on Google. Big companies, they do that. Apple runs ads, right? The only company I know that is big that doesn't run ads is Tesla, right? Because of Elon Musk's own ideology. But big companies, they run advertisement. Native doctors, herbalists, now they run advertisement. I was having a conversation with someone that an entrepreneur who is offering service to people is afraid of running advertisement, and then we have people who are doing something, people who even do Ponzi schemes, they are running advertisement. So you must position your product in order for you to have proper exchange for the investment that you have in your services, in your product, in the value that you're offering people. That is number 6. Number 7 is empires are built with soldiers and armies. Empires are built with soldiers and armies. What does that mean? You need people. You need people. You need people. You need people to work with you. You need people to collaborate with. You need people. You will never always be able to do everything by yourself. That is one reason a lot of entrepreneurs get frustrated, because they want to enjoy the profit alone. So they want to build a sole proprietorship. So at the end of the day, they end up getting frustrated because you will, at the point, get others that you will not be able to service by yourself. You will get different expressions of your business that you will not be able to do by yourself. So you must understand that you need people to build an empire, right? If you intend building an empire, you need people. If you intend building a large business, a big business, you need people. So you need people to build what you're building, because empires, they need people, they need soldiers to build. So that is why relationships are important to you. Creating a viable network is very important. Now, I have a course on that. I have effective networking course that helps you build a relationship in business, helps you build profitable relationships in business that you can leverage on for advancement in the future. So, but you need to build network, you need to build relationship, because you will always need to live. You know, I tell people that one of the ways people get so much is by leveraging on OPM or OPR, OP or OPP. OPM is other people's money. OPR is other people's resources. OPT, other people's time. OPP, other people's platform. You need to leverage on all of this to sell what you're selling, right? So you need people. Make relationships that are profitable. Make relationships that are effective. Make relationships that are effective, that are relevant to what you're building, because you will need it to have something to have a sizable level of, to operate in a more significant level of the law of exchange. So you need people. Number eight, I just, as I begin to wrap up now, number 8 is building an empire is costly. You need money. You need money, which is why I tell people that even as long as you're building, entrepreneurs who start up the first, second, third year, I tell people that if you can build your business and run your job, do it. Because what most people do is they want to because they have a business idea, they want to quit their job and then go into business, and then at the first year there's nothing giving them money because they are yet to get profit from the business, so it leads to frustration. If you can maintain your job and run your business, do it, because you need money to fund your business. You will not always have profit from the start of your business, so you need to have personal funds that you can use to run that business until that business is able to sustain itself. So you need a financial structure that will allow you to last for a long time, until you can leverage on the law of exchange, until you can actually have people who are offering what they have for what you're offering. So you need money, you need a financial structure for yourself, for your business, in order to last in the industry. That's number 8. Number 9, where I begin to dovetail, is you need to build a superior quality. That is where I'm going to close this for today. You need to build a superior quality. You will never be the only one that offers a service in the industry. You never be the only one. So you have one of the ways you can have a lasting product, or have a lasting effect on the people that you are servicing, on the people that are patronizer, on the people that are exchanging what they have with what you're offering, that you are getting what you need from, is you need to be able to beat the competition in their mind. You don't always have to beat the competition on record. You don't always have to beat the competition on paper, but you need to beat the competition in the mind of the customers. They need to value your product. They need to have a perception of your product that is superior to the perception of the product of the customer. They need to have that, because that is relevant to you staying significantly relevant to them. So you need to build a superior product, you need to build a superior service, you need to build a superior value than the competition. So that is what you need. So we've talked about the law of exchange, that it is a universal law, the law of the world, the law of the universe. As long as you sow, you will reap. And there are people who are ready daily, humans are ready daily, ready to exchange what they have for what they need. So what you do, your job is to sell what you have for what you need. What you have could be a skill, what you have could be a value, what you have could be relationship associations, what you have could be money. You need to be able to learn how to trade these things for the things that you need. And that's where I'm going to be dovetailing today. And I hope you've been able to get value at such a short time. And my classes usually go for 2 hours, but I had to make sure that I pack this, even though I still have a lot of things to talk about in my note. But I hope you've been able to get value from this class. Guys, let me know if you got value while I hand over the platform to French. French, you're up.
Wow, thank you so much. It has really been amazing. The wisdom and the knowledge that you've just shared for me, it has been mind blowing. I think one thing, if I would just admonish everybody to take, one major thing that you kept repeating, and we just re-echo that, is that what is that thing, that value that you have, that you can exchange for what you need? I think that is something you need to think about as entrepreneurs, that what is that thing that I have that I can exchange for what I need. So thank you so much, sir, really, for sharing. So at this point, it's time for questions. If you have any question, if you have any comment, anything that you did not understand that you want to clarify, this is the time to do that. You can do that by typing in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself and ask. So any questions or comments?
Guys, question before we call it a night.
Okay, I know I see some comments in the chat. Okay, so John says he got so much value. Praise said he got so much value too. Incredible thoughts. So really, thank you so much for sharing. So if there are no questions, I'm still waiting. Questions, comments. Okay, so in the absence of any questions, I want to say thank you so much to Gift Best Junior. Thank you for being here, for taking out from your time to come share with us. We have been really, our minds have been blown. Thank you so much. We've learned a lot. Thank you for sharing this value. And I know that we're going to go forward and going to implement most of those things that you have shared. Oh, I have a question. So before I go ahead of myself, So John's question is, how do I go from building my business from the common man and common problem to a building on a more uncommon, high-paying customer base?
Yeah. If I had time, I would have really talked about this because um, it is not everybody that should be the product for the common man. But the reason I was really hitting on that is because of the kind of people who are listening to me and where they are listening to me from and the kind of audience that we have here. But if you want to move from building a product for the common man to building for the uncommon people, which is a luxurious product, because there's a essential product and then there's luxurious products, right? Essential products, which are the basic things the common man needs: food, clothing, accommodations, and all of that. So move from building for the common man to the uncommon man. One of the things that can help you do that is building with a superior quality, because building with it, let me just mention it, building with a superior quality, building with a superior packaging is very important. And one of the, most people, the same product they sell to the poor people for 500 naira, they sell it to the rich people for 5,000 naira. The reason is not because the product changed, the reason is packaging. There's a certain shop that the rich man cannot patronize, not because you don't have what they need, but because of your structure, because of your packaging. So for you to build that, you need to look at your packaging. Who are you packaging for? Who are you advertising for? If you're advertising for the common man, you don't need to put in a lot of pressure in packaging, even though packaging is relevant. No, I didn't talk about that. Even though packaging is relevant, but you need to be able to understand that the rich man wants a superior packaging. He wants a superior quality. Most of them are not even looking for quantity. Where if you own a restaurant for the rich people, they are not looking to eat a lot of food. They are not interested in the quantity of food. They are interested in the nutrients. They are interested in the health benefit of the product, of the food that you made for them. They are interested in the quality, not the quantity. So you have to understand that they are interested in quality, they are interested in packaging, they are interested in your ability to actually sell to their rich people. Why do you think people play golf? Golf, I was seeing a movie. People don't play golf as a sport, right? Golf is just a status, right? A status, right? A status, right? A status. So golf is just because rich people play golf. When you get to the golf course, it's rich people you see. So your positioning also must be targeted on them. If you want to build for rich people, what you must do is there are places you can set up your shop. You can't, if you want to build for rich people, you can't set up your shop in a local area that they will find it difficult to get to. The road is bad, there's no electricity. They come to your shop, they are sweating after driving on a rigorous path. Right, so that means that you have to go the extra mile of positioning your product, your service, your business, your shop where they are. You have to take it to them. They like comfort. Rich people like comfort. So how do you build for them? By giving them comfort. If you need to build a product, every other person is building product, wants them to come and buy it in the shop. One thing you can do is get the shop to them. They want comfort. They want quality. They want proper packaging, right? They want a status, association. Some of them just want to get a product because their friends are getting the product, right? Some of them, why do you think people are getting iPhone 13? Not because they need iPhone 13. iPhone 11 can do what iPhone 13 does, but people want to get it because of status, right? And Apple has been able to understand this psychology, right? They've been able to understand the human psychology that people want to have a sense of belonging, especially people who are coming from a very not so good, confident background. They want to have a sense of belonging, they want to have a kind of certain societal status. So when you understand this, you have to use it to your advantage that people want to have. So that's why you use a lot of, okay, I think, so quality, packaging, positioning, quality for them, superior quality than you were offering the poor people, superior packaging, something that the rich want to buy. Why do you think most stuff sold to the rich people are painted gold? It's because rich people are attracted to gold. They see, they want to buy golden stuff. I have a golden wristwatch. I have a golden whatever. right? Packaging. So you must understand quality packaging positioning is one way that you can build. And why there are a lot of other things, but I will just hit it on that, and we can continue from there. So position for the right people, and French, over to you.
Thank you so much for that answer. Does anyone have any other question? I see some John. I think John is typing, but I'm not sure if anybody has a question they would like to ask. But your mic is unmuted. So,
Guys,
but do you
please
have a
note that,
question? Oh, you were gonna say something.
yeah, I was going to say that, whoa, I love this point. I said this is amazing.
Yeah, you.
This is actually it. Yeah,
Yes.
I was going to say, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, yeah, if you're listening to me, you don't have to build a product for the poor. I'm talking about, you don't have to build a product for, you could be for the rich. I have people, like I said, that sells a perfume for 50,000. I'm not gonna buy a perfume for 50,000. There's no way, right? Well, as of now, I'm not gonna buy a perfume for 50,000, right? But I have him as a friend, and he has the kind of people he sells to, right? So you can always develop a luxury product, but you need to understand that the principles for selling a luxurious product is different from selling to the common man. So if that's all the question, I would like to, you know.
All right, thank you so much. But before we go, I just really want to echo out one of the comments in the chat. And John says that my take home, I think this should be everybody's take home, is that there's need for proper positioning, proper packaging, superior quality, and understanding the psychology of status. So thank you again. And in the absence of any questions, we call it a nice day, but just quick